So Unrivaled is not off to a good rating start in season 2, and I don't really see it getting better. You could talk about Monday and some of the games being Monday afternoon, and that's fair, but the Monday night games were way down from the first games last year, and there was natural curiosity a year ago, of course, for something new. I don't know what is going to be the event that changes things. This was the original numbers. Ben Pickman, Unrivaled opening day on Monday, averaged 175,000 viewers during its primetime window of games. So the games at night. Afternoon window averaged 107,000 viewers.
Complete silence filled the space. Everything Unrivaled believed in just got demolished. When the WNBA's financial revolution struck without warning, a seismic power shift caught everyone off guard, revealing the critical weakness at the heart of their whole approach.
Unrivaled opening day on Monday averaged 175,000 viewers during its primetime window of games. So the games at night. Afternoon window averaged 107,000 viewers. All that is down from 208,000 average viewership during the regular season games in Unrivaled year 1. So not even the openers, because the opening night averaged 313,000. So way down from the opening night. Obviously way down from the peak of the one-on-one tournament, which is probably where they'll peak again this year, and down from the average from last year. And that continued into the Friday night slate of games.
Athletes who jumped ship to newer leagues chasing bigger paychecks are now watching their old leagues skyrocket to never-before-seen levels, powered by fresh investments and an exploding marketplace. This goes beyond simple rivalry. It looks like a strategic conquest, making Unrivaled question whether their window of opportunity already slammed shut. Women's basketball just got turned upside down, and definitely not how they pictured it. This is the hidden chronicle of ambitions crashing down in real time.
On Friday night. And, this is not to dunk on Unrivaled or anything, but it does question a few things. And one of them is the, target audience. Who is Unrivaled targeting? And, you could say WNBA fans, but there's not really much cross promotion there. Just basketball fans in general. But it seems as if the mission statement for Unrivaled, aside from developing players, is taking care of the players. And I found an old Reddit thread.
The brutal statistics just dropped, revealing a catastrophic outlook for Unrivaled's second campaign. Launch day audiences crashed to just 75,000 during peak hours, while daytime matchups struggled even worse at barely 7. These numbers paint a harsh picture of the uphill battle facing a league still searching for solid ground.
You look at it, and this is a thread that says, can we stop lying to ourselves about Unrivaled? Or Unrivaled addresses a problem that shouldn't exist, but one that desperately needs solving. If you're one of the best 144 players in the world at what you do, you shouldn't need a second job. Right now, Unrivaled is paying players better than the WNBA, but its business model all but guarantees it won't last. The fundamental issue, Unrivaled has no clear product and no consumer. It markets itself on paying players more and introducing a new format, but that isn't a business strategy, it's an expense. A successful league needs to solve a problem or fulfill a demand. And, he's right, or whoever this is, he, she, the viewer.
That first-year novelty factor has completely vanished, replaced by an unforgiving reality check. People are seriously wondering what could possibly rescue this situation, especially now that the original buzz clearly never converted into lasting engagement. Their future has never hung in the balance quite like this.
Isn't a business strategy, it's an expense. A successful league needs to solve a problem or fulfill a demand. And, he's right, or whoever this is, he, she. Sports fandom isn't just about watching games. It's an extension of identity. Fans invest because they feel a sense of connection and belonging. The connection fuels ticket sales, TV sales. The teams are kind of randomly put together, and it is sold on it being the best group of players or collection of players. The problem is there's only one star in the sport who is capable of actually bringing in an audience that would make a significant difference.
This represents more than a small setback. It's a catastrophic plunge from their former status. Unrivaled dulled in healthier numbers during their debut regular season at around 28,000 average viewers. Even more eye-opening, their first opening night last season attracted a solid 33,000 audience members.
Who is capable of actually bringing in an audience that would make a significant difference just via her presence. But a lot of the big stars in the league aren't there as well. And then, no one is a Phantom fan or a Mist fan or a Hive fan or anything like that, versus when they are watching a college team, they're attached to LSU and they're rooting for Flau'jae Johnson because of LSU, or Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame, or of course Caitlin Clark at Iowa and South Carolina and UConn and so on and so forth. So there is that connection.
And that figure now looks almost 3 times better than current primetime results. The downturn can't be ignored anymore, serving as concrete proof that the league failed to keep or grow their viewer base. Such a sharp fall from their opening success, including that heavily promoted one-on-one competition, points to problems much deeper than just poor scheduling. The original excitement has burned out, creating a very difficult road ahead.
Ridiculed a little bit since then because the numbers have come out since she made those comments. Being on this side with Unrivaled, I know what it takes to run a sustainable business, so I think they can't find a model that makes that happen. They need to put people in place who can. But it is true that, no NBA player needs to go get a job in the offseason to supplement his income. And the WNBA is rising to a level where that shouldn't be the case. So hopefully the new CBA addresses a lot of that. Doesn't mean, they're probably not going to get to enough this time around.
Things kept getting worse, with Friday evening's most recent ratings showing even steeper decline. Viewership reportedly fell to roughly 100,000, and some change, a troubling pattern indicating ongoing problems grabbing and keeping audiences interested.
Then right now, and that hasn't carried over into this season, and what has hurt the WNBA is also crickets. And there's no better marketing or hype machine for Unrivaled than the WNBA. And the players would be wise to realize that. Because with no WNBA, all that leverage, poof, goes away. So part of the problem with Unrivaled is that it exists, or that it needs to exist. And it should,
This steady downward spiral across various time slots and weekdays isn't just temporary turbulence. It shows fundamental problems for Unrivaled, with no clear breakthrough moment or engaging storyline to change direction. The league confronts a massive challenge establishing itself as legitimate entertainment in today's competitive sports environment. The big question remains, where does it bottom out? The root problem, critics increasingly claim, stems from Unrivaled's absence of a coherent product and identifiable target market. Although they focus on player development and athlete welfare, this mission alone doesn't create an irresistible consumer experience. Unlike established sports organizations, Unrivaled has trouble explaining what makes them special, beyond simply more basketball games. This vagueness creates enormous marketing challenges, making it nearly impossible to attract and keep fans who want identity, connection, and real reasons to dedicate their time and emotions. Without distinctive character, they stay lost in an overcrowded sports world. An old Reddit discussion, now looking incredibly accurate, exposed Unrivaled's essential weakness. "Can we stop pretending about Unrivaled?" the user wrote. The post claimed that despite addressing an important issue through better player compensation, the business foundation was completely unsustainable. It emphasized that simply increasing player salaries, while admirable, represents spending rather than business planning. Any successful league must solve consumer problems or meet specific demand, something Unrivaled apparently overlooked. This once ignored analysis now hits hard, as viewing figures prove the underlying instability. The belief that higher player wages automatically build sustainable business is completely wrong. Although Unrivaled provided salaries better than WNBA deals at that time, this doesn't generate revenue. It's actually major operating expenses. Any league must create consumer excitement, ticket purchases, and broadcasting income to support such spending. Without clear market appeal or distinctive attraction, the money model becomes extremely risky, depending mostly on startup funding instead of natural expansion. The vision of improved compensation alone can't support an entire league without an attractive product underneath. Sports loyalty, as that Reddit discussion smartly observed, goes way beyond just watching competitions. It becomes part of personal identity, creating profound connection and community feelings. Fans emotionally invest, because they feel included in something meaningful. Unrivaled, with its randomly created teams and individual talent focus, can't build this essential relationship. There aren't passionate supporters or devoted followers like college programs such as LSU or Iowa create around stars like Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. This absent emotional foundation becomes a major obstacle preventing lasting fan development. Look at the incredible influence of college sports, where school loyalty builds intense, unwavering supporter bases. Supporting LSU, Notre Dame, Iowa, South Carolina, or UConn isn't just about current players. It connects to legacy, education, and local pride. This profound attachment drives ticket purchases, merchandise sales, and steady viewership, something Unrivaled can't match with its temporary celebrity model. Without this core identity, the league misses the natural appeal that creates sustained interest, making it susceptible to brief attention and falling numbers. The dedication element is completely missing. The tough reality shows that only a select few players in women's basketball have enough star appeal to significantly boost viewing figures alone. And importantly, most of those elite WNBA celebrities aren't competing in Unrivaled. While the league features skilled athletes, it lacks those widely known, audience-attracting personalities who could overcome its organizational problems. Without that one transformative presence or multiple established household names, Unrivaled stays an interesting idea for dedicated fans, but fails to capture broader public interest necessary for wide appeal and financial success. Celebrity power remains the absent element. At the same time, the WNBA is booming, ready for an incredible period of expansion and financial strength. New franchise additions show a league growing its reach and cementing its position in professional sports. More significantly, the coming collective bargaining talks promise dramatic changes in athlete pay. Players are about to earn substantially more than ever before, a shift that completely changes competitive balance. This sudden financial improvement for the WNBA directly threatens Unrivaled's main advantage of better compensation. The situation is quickly reversing, and Unrivaled's special appeal is disappearing. Strangely, some of Unrivaled's rivals, including Project, have accidentally helped increase WNBA player wages. By securing major funding, these alternative organizations proved that higher compensation for women's basketball athletes wasn't just achievable, but necessary. This influence pushed the WNBA to reconsider its payment system, eventually creating more profitable agreements for its talent. So while Unrivaled faces difficulties, the mere presence of these competing leagues improved the entire women's professional basketball environment, ironically making the WNBA more appealing while reducing Unrivaled's attraction. Nafisa Collier's previous statements challenging Unrivaled's viable business approach, originally dismissed with mockery, have become disturbingly accurate. She claimed that operating sustainable enterprises requires particular knowledge and workable financial strategy, elements she thought Unrivaled lacked. Now, with terrible viewing statistics supporting her concerns, her judgment seems completely correct. This demonstrates the crucial importance of strong business basics, instead of depending only on good wishes or temporary financial benefits. Her once controversial doubt has become an uncomfortable reality for the struggling organization. The WNBA has something Unrivaled desperately needs: reputation, background, and customs. It's the recognized center of professional women's basketball, where fan connections developed over many years. This brand awareness, historical significance, and supporter emotional investment can't be easily copied by any new league, regardless of intentions. While the WNBA is also relatively recent compared to other major sports, it maintains clear advantages in organizational experience and cultural importance. This groundwork enables growth and adjustment, a privilege Unrivaled is still frantically trying to achieve. Even WNBA superstar Breanna Stewart commented on Unrivaled's ratings, recognizing the difficulties while stressing the need for reliably strong audiences. Her remarks subtly highlighted the wider challenge facing women's professional basketball in establishing its own steady presence in programming outside conventional patterns. Though she supported Unrivaled, her viewpoint emphasized how hard it is attracting viewers to new styles at unusual, especially when competing against established watching preferences. It reminds us that even with talent, creating new leagues takes endurance rather than speed, filled with special challenges. The suggestion that Unrivaled just needs more time to develop and become important doesn't make sense in today's environment. Women's basketball has never been more popular, driven by amazing college athletes and a thriving WNBA. If Unrivaled can't take advantage of this peak attention, it's doubtful that time alone will magically fix their problems. This current period offers an extraordinary chance, and missing it suggests fundamental organizational issues beyond just being new. The notion that longevity will solve everything feels more like false hope given the circumstances. Maybe the most ignored yet vital truth is that the WNBA works as the ultimate promotion and excitement generator for any other women's basketball organization. Players and leaders of Unrivaled should recognize this cooperative relationship. Without the WNBA, the complete system of professional women's basketball, including the very influence these new leagues want to create, would simply vanish. The WNBA provides the established foundation, brand recognition, and talent pipeline. Imagining successful alternatives without acknowledging its essential role means misunderstanding the entire situation, making new projects vulnerable. The concept that leagues like Unrivaled or Project offers substantial negotiating power against the WNBA in contract discussions might be exaggerated. While they definitely raised money and sparked conversations about player compensation, they can't serve as realistic replacements. The WNBA possesses invaluable qualities of legacy, heritage, and deeply rooted fan loyalty, elements Unrivaled completely lacks. If the WNBA disappeared, these newer leagues wouldn't just take over. They'd lose their main source of talent, marketing, and importance. Their supposed influence is much weaker than previously thought. The WNBA's upcoming new contract, partly driven by money raised by challengers like Project, is set to massively boost player salaries, potentially reaching amounts that seriously reduce motivation for athletes to join alternative leagues, mainly for financial benefits. This major agreement, whether through new broadcasting deals or simply better player compensation packages, represents the real game changer. It eliminates Unrivaled's strongest selling point and forces them to find another equally powerful, unique advantage in an increasingly packed and competitive marketplace. The financial environment has changed completely. Unrivaled faces a critical decision point, struggling from the WNBA's rise in their own shaky beginning. The vision of a player-focused, well-paying alternative now confronts harsh reality of market needs and established tradition. Can a league founded on good principles and higher salaries discover a sustainable offering? Or will it get overwhelmed by the very wave of women's basketball success it helped generate? The future of professional women's sports is definitely promising, but the journey for every hopeful league remains far from certain. The issue isn't just staying alive. It's discovering lasting meaning beyond temporary advantage.